more than 70% of people here think the state should suppress public displays of homosexuality. A similar proportion believe that homosexuality is the result of disease, promiscuity, or a lifestyle choice. So the state would say that they are simply enforcing the public will, but the activists who were here would question how that can possibly be challenged, how minds can be changed if the government, and this is why they were picketing the parliament today, if the Russian government goes ahead with passing legislation which is going to be called homosexual propaganda bill, so that any information about gay rights would just be deemed homosexual propaganda and anyone spreading it could be fined. So that is why they were attempting to make their stand outside the parliament today. I don't think anyone was under any illusions about how this would end, so they came one at a time to try to hold up their placards. Some of them just came to try to stand there with a T-shirt on with the rainbow flag on it. They were immediately surrounded by police, hauled off, as you say, in full view of the journalists, and they have now been taken to police stations where they may well be charged with participating in an illegal protest. But they say they had to do this, they had to make their stand, because the situation in Russia is now just so dangerous for the gay community. And they've drawn attention to a case in Volgograd, the city that used to be known as Stalingrad in Russia's south, where a young man was tortured and murdered by his friends earlier this month, apparently because he told them he was gay. A small patch of flowers in a children's playground marks the place Vladislav Tornovoy died. The police told his father he was killed by his friends because he told them he was gay. They say they stripped him, assaulted him with beer bottles and beat him with a concrete block, and then they tried to set him on fire. Andrei refuses to believe his son could possibly have been gay. To suggest it, he says, dishonours his memory.
In remote cities and areas like ours, there is a completely different perception of the world. That is why we can't even understand. What gays? It's nonsense.
Detectives brought one of the suspects back here to show them, using a mannequin, how he attacked his friend. He has known Vladislav since childhood. They ask him why. He says because he said he was a fag. There's some suggestion here locally that Vladislav wasn't gay, that the men just made it up to try to explain what they had done and make themselves look better. And it's hard to know which is worse, the idea that a young man might have been killed by his friends because he told them he was gay, or that saying he was gay might in any way justify having killed him. This was Vladislav a few years ago at school. One of his friends told us his killers have been getting messages of congratulation.
People wrote, less gays, more happiness. These guys who killed Vlad were right. It was our classmates. It was somebody's son, somebody's grandson, and you think that he's dead and it's okay.
In this city, once known as Stalingrad, they are proud of their military history. The school children still guard the eternal flame, but there are other aspects of life here they are much less keen to talk about. Denis, not his real name, asked us to protect his identity because he fears the consequences of speaking out.
The level of homophobia is absolutely beyond belief. So here it's really an extremely dangerous thing to be gay. Now there's a danger of being just eliminated, killed. There's also fear, and people just have to live with it.
It's 20 years this year since Russia decriminalised homosexuality, but you wouldn't know it from the stigma here.